Friends, after a couple of months I can say that I'm ready to make friends with this guy, because he is very cool. Let me start from the exterior. Everything is great about it, but you'd better turn the screen off, because it's of no so good quality. Well, it's okay, but I think it's outdated. Grill is enough to spare and everything is the subwoofer, 100%. And you know, you can't even break it, press through it, unless you use a spare or an axe, or as it is a protective grill for sure. I think remote control mismatches the subwoofer, as it came straight from the 2000s, when there were sets like BBK or Microlab. Do you remember those tiny remote controls? Well, if you buy a subwoofer for $5,000, you will get the same one. And I think it's a bit strange. We have a very convenient and user-friendly app where you can set the level. I have about minus 10 decibels. Also, you can set frequency. Again, my reference set is up to 30 Hz and 24 decibels, the so-called low. You can also set the phase in degrees, very convenient and easy. Polarity, positive and negative. Equalizer. The flexibility of the sub is very rewarding, as we have 3 ports here. And for example, you can open or close 3 of them, close the middle one. My favorite setup is when the middle one is closed and you get 13 Hz bass here. It's the lowest rate possible. And if you set the cutoff frequency to 30 Hz, you won't hear bass at all. Your neighbors will feel it. Your animals in your house, dogs. Well, it would be hell of an experiment on people who live nearby. We have 3 massive plugs that couldn't be taken out easily at the first try. My oh my. The first one, second, and the third. This is how you get an open-type subwoofer, my friends. Don't forget about this important setting, port tuning, where you choose which of the ports is opened or closed. Typically my set is when the middle port is closed. That's how you get the loudest bass possible. Also, you can set all the ports closed or opened. By the way, you can call guys from the SVS, they will answer all your questions. For the rest, there are no complaints. The surface finish looks great, the edges are sloped, implying the quality of the product. But there's a fly in the ointment. These feet, cool feet, should be purchased separately. Unfortunately, the top of the line PB16 Ultra is supplied with 6 little rubber feet that better be changed. I give it 6 out of 10 for music, even when we close all the 3 ports. All in all, it's pretty good for R&B music or rap music, but as for instrumental, jazz are not suitable for it. But as for the movies, this guy sounds 10 out of 10. I would give him 15 if it's possible, as I have never come across such deep controlled bass energy, though I tested quite a plenty of subs in my life. Not a single cinema theater has given such implication, such bass feeling as one PB16 Ultra gives. While testing, so many interesting things happened, and I'll tell you one. Once I came home, turned on the subwoofer, the receiver, amplifiers, but I forgot about the preamp. Technically 3 sources should be on. 2 speakers and the sub, but the speakers were off as the preamp was off. And you know, I started to hear like somebody turned on music somewhere on the 5th floor or maybe on the 4th floor. There was some vibrance there. I didn't listen to music myself, but I felt the vibration. I got closer, pinned my ears back, but I didn't understand where the movement came from. Then I thought maybe it was a car in the yard and maybe some bass came out of it, but there was nothing. But much later I finally realized that it was the subwoofer playing. There was some kind of internet radio, and these low frequencies, the vibrations came out of it. I couldn't understand where they were coming from. This just says about the high level of the product. The sub produces the lowest frequencies possible that practically can't be heard at all, but you feel it with your body. The Pacific Rim movie episode really impressed me. I got the idea of the director when the Worn Ranger after the first battle came out of water, and when the old man with the kid walked the beach and they heard some sound, and you hear the sound of a huge robot coming, and then he appears, and it was just fantastic. And I understand what the director wanted to show by this scene. Another interesting moment, the Ready Player One movie, when the Tsar bomb comes off, destroying everyone and everything in the virtual reality. The bass was so powerful, impressive and sustaining that with the help of SVS I understood what the director wanted to say. But before that I watched this scene a couple of times and I couldn't understand the badassery of this scene. Reliability 9 out of 10. Traditionally I remove 1 point for production away from the brand's homeland. As for the rest, this is an uncompromising set when it comes to the factor of safety. We saw it ourselves in the previous video when we cut it open. Design 8 out of 10. This is hefty, powerful, huge. I'd rather say enormous. It's like a grand piano. It's not like a super product in design matter, but all in all, I like it. You just need to turn the sub screen off that nobody could see it, and no one will ever say this sub costs cheaper than practically any of its rivals by power, efficiency and depth of bass. When you compare SVS with GL Audio Gotham version 2, which is considered super cool subwoofer, though it weighs 2 times and costs 4 times more, and you know, I haven't compared them, but I believe SVS would compete Gotham. Moreover, you can buy 4 SVS for the price of Gotham. Just imagine what would happen if you put 4 of them in a room of like 10 square meters. The main criterion is quality price, 10 out of 10 for sure. This is one of the best subwoofers in the movies market. Any other rival will lose it for whatever reason. What you get when you buy this machine is like when you buy a sport car, and that will lose all the rivals from the start line. Finally, I want to say that experimenters on planet Earth are alive and well. The VS engineers weren't afraid to inculcate bold decisions and made a really ultimate things for a comparatively low price, my friends. This sub would be vital for top-line cinemas more than 25 square meters. For those who want to get everything from movies, from 13 Hz to Best Picture and immersion.